Okay, this is Bassmaster Fishing, Toledo Bend, episode 20 something. It's a special episode. I'm going to show you where I'm going for the online open, should it arise next and be next on the schedule. Toledo Bend, here we go. So, I recently found a major hotspot on Toledo Bend, and of course, every time I do that, I make an hour-long show out of it to see exactly how good I can do in 1 hour. Now, I kind of already know how I can do in an hour, and I'll tell you that. I'll share that with you. I got the equivalent in career mode. I got the equivalent of a couple 16 pounders and a few 15s. Now, I didn't get a couple 16s. I got a couple large 15s, a couple 15 10s, and then I caught a couple 14 13s and like a 14 9. So go right out of the dock here. So that's the equivalent of a couple 16s and a few 15s. In 1 hour from 7 a.m. cloudy to 1500. Come all the way to the northern buoys here. I'll show you where this is on the bigger map. This is where I'm going. You see a little island? I'm just going to the very tip of it, the point. And in my opinion, it's the best fishing you can do in 1 hour on Toledo Bend. And I've been coming like this. This is how I got these fish. What a beautiful game, huh, guys? Bassmaster Fishing is just immaculate. It's just a stunning visual experience, in my opinion. All right, so my buddy Big E, I showed him this spot, and he used this here, the tremor shad, and he caught Sheila before too long. I'm using this. This is kind of my pet lure. I've had so much success with this lately. It's got me in first place right now on St. Lawrence River, and only using this. So my casting points, how I got that bag is I pitched here to the left, but not too far to the left. Right here, in the middle here, this is where Big E caught Sheila. Kind of like out here, kind of like close to the boat, but not too close. Pitching in the middle. I pitch here, and then I pitch here. And I've caught giant 15s and 14, 13s and all those different points. So let's begin this special Toledo Bend episode and see how good we can do. Now, guys, I want to point out something that may help some of you, especially during the online open, the online tournament. If you notice problems with not being able to catch the more giant, super heavyweight bass, one of the biggest reasons is probably your retrieve. One of the biggest problems is constant retrieve. Now, constant does work sometimes, like especially in free fishing. So it might lead you to think and lead you to believe that constant will work at all times, like it'll work during career mode, it'll work during the online tournament. But one of the things I found is that I have been having to switch from using constant because I'm missing so many giant bass. It's one of the things I myself am learning at this time is that constant retrieve, like the way I'm doing it right now, yeah, in free fishing it might work, and I'm in free fishing right now, so if you see me using a lot of constant, it's only because I'm here in free fishing. But if you're in career mode, or especially the online tournament, constant can stop working. I mean, it can stop working. You can have three great rounds of the tournament using constant, and then in the championship round, I've had this happen to me. But in the championship round, the large super heavyweight largemouth bass will completely stop biting a lure that is using constant. And I have noticed it in the tournament, like that the bite will literally just stop for the giant bass.
Not gonna set any records with that one.
Now, if you're not aware of how stop and go works, I'll show you now. It's 3 quick seconds stop, 3 quick seconds go. I mean, not really quick. It's kind of like this: 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, go. One, and you stop and you retrieve your lure at those speeds. So you stop for 3 seconds and you go for 3 seconds. You stop for 3 seconds, then you reel for 3 seconds on 3 reel speed. You can also use number 2 reel speed and go even slower. Although I'll say this, stop and go is a very slow technique.
Flippity flop, what do you got?
It's already very slow. You stop for 3 whole seconds during each part of the retrieve. So, whoa, overpitch there. So I'll show you how I do it. 3 reel speed. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, a little fish took it. But that's the basic idea. You can practice with that until you notice that stop and go appears on the left-hand dial on the heads-up display there. When it says stop and go a lot, you're doing it correctly. But it's basically just going for 3 seconds and stopping for 3 seconds. And I have found that it is much more effective. It's much more effective in a pinch in tougher conditions. Much more effective than constant. But there isn't much to say about this spot other than the real giant largemouth do seem to kind of be like to the left, to the center, and to the right on the tip of this point. So I always set up with my back to the buoys like this and pitch in here. And I have to give Big E credit because he got Sheila like this, and I was setting up over there and pitching on the right side over here only. And when he caught Sheila like this, I started practicing like this. And I would have eventually figured that out on my own. But I do have to give Big E credit for helping me believe in this spot again. Because I was starting to lose faith only sitting on the right side of it. That I was going to catch any kind of like highly competitive bag in an hour. Which is what I'm always concerned about. I'm always practicing for the online open. And trying to find spots that I think, yeah, this spot is good enough to win the online tournament.
That one. But it's a solid keeper. Cha-chunk, cha-ching.
Well, you can see for yourself the nature of this spot. It's just full of monsters. It's full of big, giant trophy largemouth. And guys, honestly, I have tried some of Big Timer Jay's spots during the last tournament, and I just could not get anything consistent. I had a really hard time getting five, like over 14-pound largemouth on any of those spots. And yet the first time I tried this, I got the equivalent of 216s and 315s. So I just have to say that I believe firmly that this is probably the best
with that toad.
spot and the best lures and the best way to fish the online open, the online tournament, for those of you that are interested in that. Many of you may not be, but for those of us that do compete, well, of course, we really want to win bad because it's like 3 hours per round, and you put a lot of time into playing the tournament, and you want to win. You want to do well. You want to do your very best. And even with stop and go, I still had a hard time catching some of those big trophies that were in there. But I found that, like, when the bite is really tough, it could be the retrieve you're using. It could be constant, could be the problem. And I found that stop and go is much more effective than constant. I mean, it's much more effective. I have won tournaments using stop and go because constant, like, cost me a bunch of giant bass. And I had to scramble and figure out, like, what is going on here? Why am I missing these giant bass? And I found that it was constant. Constant was the problem. And when I switched to stop and go,
You're gonna have a few competitors tremble.
I like won tournaments. It made the difference in the whole tournament itself. Whether I, got first place or some other standing. So this is a trophy largemouth. It's got a heartbeat. And every time you hear that heartbeat, you know it's going to be a trophy. It's going to be above the minimum trophy size for that lake, for that species, which you can see on your pause menu. If you ever forget, what the minimum trophy size is. I still haven't caught a 14. And this is almost 2 full game hours in the video here. Now, I have done one other episode on this position, but I was kind of off to the right. I wasn't like sitting directly on this point pitching into it like this. And in that episode, I did not do extremely well. And it's one of the reasons I started looking around at other spots, and I started like losing a little bit of faith in this spot. And yet last night when I played here with Big E, and I started playing his way on this position,
Flippity flop, what do you got?
I realized that it is like my initial inclination was correct, that this position is a very special spot. It's a trophy largemouth. And you notice, like, it's been almost every single fish has been like a trophy largemouth bass. And this is just random weather, random condition. Well, it's cloudy, but I mean, like, it's like random temperature. I didn't like set this up or anything. This is just the day that free fishing gave me. 68 degrees. I haven't set this up in any way. This is the first temperature that came up. Wow.
That right there is a bass squatch.
Not very big, guys. Not for Toledo. Like a absolute giant size trophy for Toledo would be over 15 pounds. So I continue to struggle in this episode.
You're gonna have a few competitors trembling with that.
I mean, as far like I'm trying to get the equivalent here of in 1 hour, I'm trying to get the equivalent of a couple 16 pounders and a few 15 pounders. Because I have before. So this is kind of a proving episode where I'm proving this spot. Is it consistent for the online tournament? And when I played Elite Series career mode here with Big E last night, I got that bag. It was phenomenal. The only thing that didn't happen was catching a legendary largemouth bass like Big E did. Yeah, but it seems like in this cooler. Well, no, this is about 70 degrees here too. My buddy Big E, he was saying that in cooler weather. You see, he had cooler weather, and I had warmer weather, like around 70 degrees, like I have today. And he was saying that in the cooler weather, it was less active. And we always play against each other in career mode.
Not gonna set any records with that one.
But so far, I am finding that on these 70-degree days, it can be just as scant or scarce for the giant trophies as cold weather. I'm not finding that, like, every time I fish warm weather, like, it's so much more productive than cold weather. I'm not seeing that myself. This here is about as warm as it gets on Toledo Bend. It's almost 70 degrees. And I've had zero luck catching any kind of largemouth over 12 pounds. And this is going on 2.5 game hours now, where I've not caught a giant trophy largemouth. So I don't know if the temperature excuse is really valid, like, I'm not sure if I believe that myself. All right, this is probably my first over 14-pound largemouth bass, I hope. Oh yeah, it can't even hop. Whenever the largemouth can't even, like, kind of hop out of the water, it's like over 13-pound largemouth. But you notice I've used only the Jenko swim bait, and I have been using stop and go a lot. If you are struggling, especially in the tournament, I suggest you at least try stop and go. Like, if you don't like the Jenko, I understand that. Like, the Jenko seems to catch anything and everything. All right,
There has been a Basquatch sighting.
my first phenomenal fish, a near 16 pounder. And maybe that's why it's been so bad, is because, ultimately there's going to be fewer giants. Like sometimes you can even catch like a bunch of 13s here too. But that has not been happening. Maybe the fish are going to be bigger today, but they're going to be fewer and far between. But is that related to the temperature? Like my buddy Big E thinks it is? I don't know. Oh, there's another one. Wow. On the right side. The first one I caught on the left side. The next one I caught on the right side. And my luck starts to turn. But hey, guys, if you need a great spot to fish on Toledo Bend, this spot is not only great, it's competitive. Like, it's in contention to be possibly the best spot to fish for largemouth on Toledo Bend. And I will be using it. Wow.
Big fish, and no whammies.
Two giant 15s back to back in rapid succession. How about that? And that's what I've seen like before on this spot. And that's how I know it's special here. Those are tournament winning fish. You get like 5 fish that are anywhere near that big in 1 hour, and you're going to probably win the round during the online tournament. And if you do it each round, you're going to win the whole tournament. And you will enter history as being a Bassmaster Fishing 2022 Online Open champion. And you will join those of us that have gone before and become champions ourselves. When there wasn't much like information about this game. Like for a long time. Nobody was posting these like online open videos, that's for sure. It's only recently that anyone has dared give away their spots and their strategies to the world. Like me and Trickster are doing. Trickster's British. I'm American. Well, I know Trickster is like from England. I don't know if he lives in England right now or Great Britain. He might be like an English American. I'm really not sure. I could ask him. But I do know that he is British. And in my opinion, he's kind of like replacing Big Timer Jay because, Big Timer Jay was like the British voice on YouTube for this game. And he made a bunch of videos for Bassmaster. But he never did his online open strategy. He never did this. Like recording his full hour of everything he does during the online tournament like me and Trickster do. But I'm the American representative on YouTube for this game. And there's an old YouTuber, his name was Professor Smooth. And he did a bunch of videos on Bassmaster and some other games, but mainly what I saw on his channel was Bassmaster. And I mean, his videos were really well done. They were well edited and everything. And he did a good job putting his videos together. Maybe even a little better than Big Timer Jay's videos as far as like the editing and how well done Professor Smooth's videos were. But he had kind of a southern drawl, and
that one. But it's a solid keeper.
he was the American doing Bassmaster videos. Big Timer Jay was the Englishman doing Bassmaster videos. And all of a sudden, they both quit doing it. Like, Big Timer Jay quit putting out Bassmaster videos. Professor Smooth, his whole channel disappeared out of the blue, out of nowhere. All his videos disappeared. They were gone. And I looked for his stuff, but I couldn't find any of it. I couldn't find any trace of Professor Smooth. He took all his videos off YouTube, or YouTube did it. I have no idea whatever happened to him. If anyone knows what happened to Professor Smooth and his videos, put it in the comments. Let me know what happened to him, because I would love to reach out and contact him and thank him for all the help that he gave me when I was first starting to play Bassmaster Fishing 2022.
Flippity flop, what do you got?
And I really started my channel thanks to Professor Smooth. I wanted a channel like his about Bassmaster. But I just really didn't know enough yet about the game. And I had a lot to learn, and I had some good videos at first. They got thousands of views. But my channel is much, much better now than when I started. When I started, honestly, it was actually pretty sad. And I have no video equipment. I'm just making these videos with my PlayStation and the microphone on my controller, my DualSense controller. And I'm just talking into my microphone and recording it on my PlayStation 5. That's how I make all my videos. A very basic, crude way of making videos. I don't edit. I don't take any time on them to like perfect them or anything, like most YouTubers probably do. But I'm just so excited about Bassmaster. Every time I sit down to play it, I know it could be the time when I catch a legendary largemouth bass, or I find some incredible hotspot on a given lake. And I'm always excited to play Bassmaster for some reason. Like, I guess I'm just a fisherman at heart. Because fishing does not excite everybody, okay? You got to be kind of a special kind of person for fishing to really, get you and motivate you and excite you. I think you got to have maybe a certain personality, I guess. Because it's funny, like a lot of gamers, they do not like hunting games and fishing games and outdoorsy kind of outdoors video games. They feel like it's a gimmick, it's not really, a great idea for a video game to have some, patience game and hunt, or have some patience game and fish. Excuse me. But tell that to the creators of Fishing Planet, man. Those guys, man, I'll tell you what. They sure have they have made a ton of money on Fishing Planet.
Yes.
They have all those DLCs and
Boy, that is Shaq Daddy's super bass.
I mean, you could absolutely lose everything you got and move into the poorhouse and eat out of the soup kitchens from buying Fishing Planet DLCs, It's highly monetized. This game can often be acquired very cheaply on sale. And it's one price, you know, you don't have to pay some premium subscription to level up, to unlock all the levels. It's just a fishing game that's available to you at all times for one basic price. Fishing Planet is not like that. Like, you really need to buy DLC after DLC after DLC to unlock even, you know, like 70% of the maps.
Yes.
Well, I'll say 70 to 80%.
It's Chubasa.
I love Fishing Planet. I played Fishing Planet for a couple years, and I have been on and off with it. And before Bassmaster, Fishing Planet was my favorite fishing game. Well, I guess there's just something about Bassmaster where I just love it. You know, it's just my game. I built my whole YouTube channel on it. It's just my kind of fishing game. I do prefer it to Fishing Planet, and Fishing Planet is so much like better in a lot of ways. And yet, I would rather play Bassmaster, guys. I'd rather go after the big, crazy-looking largemouth bass and not feel like I needed any DLC to progress. And, you know, you pay once for Bassmaster and you get the whole thing. It's got a couple DLCs, but, you know, they're not too bad. They're very attainable. It's nowhere near as bad as Fishing Planet DLCs. Okay.
What a
So now I got two over 1510s, a 14.7, and a 13 for my 5 fish now, and a 12. I got two over 1510, a 14.7, and a 13 are my biggest. So in the online tournament, you need 5 largemouth as big as you can get them in 1 full hour. And that will be your final bag. That will be added up towards your final score of each round. Each round you need five giant largemouth bass. It's really that simple if you want to get involved in the online open. Each round, you get 3 different attempts, and each attempt is an hour. And you just try to catch your 5 biggest largemouth. In those hours. And only the 5 of your fish from one of your attempts will be your final score for that full round. It might seem a little complicated when you look at this screen for the online open, but that's how it works. Each round is 3 attempts. Each attempt is an hour long, and only your best 5 fish from one of your attempts will be counted. It just seems like it's constant trophy largemouth bass. At least when you use the Jenko, I like always use the Jenko swim bait here. And I have great success with it. It might seem very one-dimensional that, like, in all my videos, I seem to be using the Jenko swim bait, you know? Because, guys, that's how much confidence I have in it. I mean, I believe that the Jenko swim bait is going to get me the most possible giant trophy largemouth. I just believe that. From, like, many hours of using different lures, I just know this lure is, like, the best lure in the game for trophy largemouth, for, you know, giant heavyweight size. So I trust it.
Yes.
I trust the Jenko swim bait.
Not going to set any records with that one, but it's a solid keeper. Cha-chunk, cha-ching.
So what do you guys think? Will we ever get another Bassmaster Fishing 2022? I don't know what Dovetail's working on now. I know they're kind of like working on the DLCs for Train Sim World, but they must be like in the middle of their next project by now. Train Sim World 6 has been out for quite some time, and most of the DLCs have been available for a while, and it does seem like they're finished production of it. So I wonder what they're doing next. They're under new ownership. So the people that made Bassmaster are that owned Dovetail when Bassmaster was being made are gone. The old owners are gone. So it makes you really wonder if Dovetail is even going to continue the fishing games that they were very active in making for quite a few years. They made seemingly nothing but fishing games and some train sim games for a while, quite some time. But I think probably their most loved games are their fishing games. So I hope the new owners of Dovetail are not thinking of just like scrapping the old ideas and saying goodbye to the fishing game idea. They seem to be getting so good at making this kind of a game. And I don't think anyone can argue that the Dovetail fishing games are not the best fishing games in the world, besides Fishing Planet. I think Fishing Planet is the most well made, okay? I think it's the best. But the Dovetail games are a close second. And like I said, guys, I would rather play a Dovetail fishing game than Fishing Planet usually because of the heavy monetization of Fishing Planet. And the emphasis on like grinding certain boring fish that you don't want to catch
Jeepers, creepers,
to unlock
peepers,
XP and level and certain other maps. Like to me that is so boring. Like that they want you to sit there and grind on one spot, on one fish, or else you can't level up, you know, very quickly. So you're forced to just kind of fish one fish in one spot over and over and over and over in Fishing Planet, or you can't unlock all your maps. And in my opinion, that really hurts the game. It makes you not want to play it. That you feel forced to fish so many hours on one spot with catching one species of fish, that will help you XP up the quickest possible. And if you don't fish for that fish, you're just not going to get anywhere with unlocking your maps,
Not gonna set
and
any records with that one, but it's a solid keeper. Cha-chunk, cha-ching.
I leveled up to level 50 the first time I played, and I literally quit playing Fishing Planet altogether because I was getting so sick of farming the sturgeon on that map in that game. And I unlocked like Weeping Willow, and I quit trying to unlock it at all because it just became so much drudgery and so boring, and like I didn't see the sense in doing nothing but catching sturgeon, with spawn sacks for days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks. I wanted to fish for what I wanted to fish for, not like what was going to get me the most XP. That to me is the biggest fault of Fishing Planet, is that, if you don't spend a million hours unlocking your maps, and leveling up, catching one fish in Fishing Planet, you know, then you're going to spend a lot of money getting there the quick way or the quickish way. And to me, that damages the whole nature of what a game is supposed to be, where it's all about having fun, not about, spending $1 million to unlock maps,
What a hog.
or spending 1,000,000 hours in contrast. And with Fishing Planet, you spend one or the other. They either get your money, or you spend 1,000,000 hours leveling up the freeway. $1,000,000 or 1,000,000 hours. That's Fishing Planet's ultimatum. I have a lot of respect for Fishing Planet. Played it for years. Played the tournaments, the competitions, the competition mode, and I unlocked as far as the Amazon, but I used DLCs to do it, and it cost me a bunch of money to finally unlock the Amazon. Some people like Bo Angle say, well, you don't need any DLC. Well, no, you don't have to buy any Fishing Planet DLC. But if you want to unlock your maps in a reasonable amount of time, you do. If you don't use DLC, it's going to take you absolutely all of your free time for the rest of your life to unlock all the maps in Fishing Planet. It's like they made it like obviously a bad use of your time. So you would buy the DLC and at least spend a little money on the game, and rehab them a little bit for their expense in creating the game. And I don't begrudge them that. I do think it hurts any game to be like so highly monetized. It just hurts the whole nature of gaming in general to like over monetize everything, and everything gets so like oppressive. Well, that kind of hurts the joy of playing any game. So 2 game hours, which I'm not sure what the equivalent of that would be in real time. In 2 game hours, it's actually a very short time in real time. In 2 game hours, we will see what my five best fish were and how much they weighed and how I would have done in the online open had this been an attempt. Now, my buddy Big E did just catch the biggest largemouth bass in this entire map on this spot, right in here. So it is quite possible that I could catch a legendary largemouth bass, maybe sometime soon.
Yes.
But this was a special episode where I mostly complained about Fishing Planet and talked about the retrieve in Bassmaster and how it can change your whole productivity levels if you use stop and go instead of constant at times. It is a slower retrieve, so it can be a little slow, a little boring, I guess. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, go. That's stop and go. And it can make a big difference, especially in like career mode or the online tournament, the online open. It's just hard to count like in my brain while I'm trying to give commentary in my video. So I've been using constant a little bit. Plus, this is free fishing. So really, constant does work fine in free fishing. It's only when you get to like the career mode or the online tournament when constant stops working. I mean, it will stop. It'll go dead stop. And you'll see the giant bass, but they will not bite. That's probably because of constant. The use of constant in preference to some of the other more effective retrieves. And free fishing, though, it does seem to work fine. And just in those other modes where it's more challenging, it does seem to make a giant difference. All the difference in the world. And you'll start catching giant trophy, super heavyweight largemouth again, and legendary largemouth again with stop and go. And my old buddy Big E, he was really struggling on this spot the other day.
But at least it's a good,
He was
solid
really,
keeper.
really struggling. I mean, he kept complaining about the size of the bass he was catching. And I mean, like for 30 minutes straight, this guy, he did nothing but like poo-poo the spot and the bass he was catching. And there could be something too, like the cooler weather, the colder weather, like not being as productive. I myself can't say for absolute sure. I made a video saying that the warmer temperatures can be more productive, but I'm not absolutely 100% positive on that. But he was struggling, and he just caught Sheila here. But he had a really good bag. Compared to most people in the tournament, it probably would have blown most people away what he had. And I was kind of surprised that he wasn't happier with it. Because, I mean, he was struggling. He was struggling to maintain a positive attitude. We were playing together and everything, and it was just like, every fish was, not as big as he was wanting it to be. And he was just struggling. I felt bad for him because I was having like a phenomenal, like record breaking Toledo Bend time using the Jenko swim bait all over this point here. But my heart did go out to him. I felt bad for him. He was really struggling, and he's a fierce competitor during the online open. You really got to watch out for Biggie because when he gets on a roll, when he gets on, he really gets on. He gets giant scores. In St. Lawrence River, he got a 54-pound round. That's the second best round in the entire tournament. And we're in the middle of the championship round right now. I'm in first place right now, tied with Killer Trades for first. On St. Lawrence, which Bassmaster is so funny. With some lakes that you think you're going to do terrible on, you wind up winning. And other lakes you think you're going to do great on, you wind up getting like 50th place, like I did at Sabine River. I thought I was going to, like, honestly rule Sabine River. Largemouth fishing. And boy, Trickster and Hardline Dax, they took that job. Oh, big largemouth. Looks just like Sheila. Giant, super heavyweight slob. Wow, it kind of jumped. That's not a good sign. I suspect this of being a 12-pound bass now. Like, it kind of, no, it's big. It is big. But whenever they jump clear out of the water, they're small. They're not bigger than 12 pounds. Okay, so now I have two big 15s and two medium 14s and a 13 would be my 5 giant bass. And this is about 50 minutes. I got about 10 minutes. Well, I don't even know. This might be more like from 1,400 to 1,500. I'm not exactly sure how long that's going to be. I've never timed it.
What do you got?
Boy, it'd be great if I could get one more 15 or 14. Either one of those would be, I mean, they would give me that big 75-pound plus round that I've been hoping to demonstrate on this spot. But you see, in an hour, my 5 giant largemouth were exceptionally good. Like, as the tournament would be going, I would be probably in first place.
Not gonna set any records with that
Just
one.
with the largemouth I
At least it's
caught
a
here.
good, solid keeper.
Ooh, big boy. Oh, I missed him. No, not that one. That one. Got him. This is a real big pig. And after this fish, I'm going to end the video and show you like what my largest bass were using this strategy. My largest 5, oh, he jumped. He's not as big as I thought he was. He's not as big as he looked up close in the camera.
Yes.
No.
Knick-knack, fatty-whack, give that hog.
All right, I'll give it another pitch in hopes for something bigger. Because I would like all 5 of my fish to at least be in the 14 range. This sure has been a fun episode to make with you and to send off into the ether and into the world, into the ether on YouTube for anyone and everyone to watch. And I hope you did watch it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I have enjoyed having you guys as an audience. And I just think that more credit has to be given to Bassmaster. And do we as fans of Bassmaster want another one? You bet your biscuits we do. We want another Bassmaster Fishing. Here in America, we absolutely love this game. And it gets a lot of criticism, but it's got a faithful following. And many of us play in the monthly tournament and just love the game and just really see it for what it is, a special, unique American bass fishing experience video game. It's just unique. It's special. And it's kind of like a love letter from the British Dovetail games to America. And we have absolutely loved this game, many of us. And we desperately want another one. So I hope the new ownership of Dovetail will see their way clear to producing another one of these phenomenal bass fishing games. That is my prayer for Dovetail. And now we have to look at my 5 biggest bass. Okay, running out of time. My biggest was a 15-12, 15-11, 13-5, 14-7, and a 14-9. Those are my 5 biggest in 1 hour. Thank you for watching this Toledo Bend episode. Bye-bye.